Hello, welcome to this Computer Weekly video in association with HP. I'm Brian Glick, I'm the Editor-in-Chief of Computer Weekly, and I'm talking to some experts from HP about some of the key issues that are facing IT leaders today. For this video I'm joined by Peter Schofield. Peter has the very impressive job title of Director for Application Modernization and Strategic Application Services for Cloud and Mobility. I'm going to be talking to Peter about the challenges that IT leaders are facing around transforming and modernising their applications. Peter, thanks very much for joining us today and taking part in the video.
Brian. Thank you.
Very good of you. Clearly, applications are the lifeblood of the modern organisation today. But the reality is that many of those applications are quite old, legacy applications. A lot of them need updating. In your experience, what's the state of the typical organisation's application estate today?
Our experience, my experience personally, is that with all of our large enterprise clients across the public sector and the commercial sector, they all have much more diverse, much more varied application estates than they wish they had. They've largely grown by acquisition. They've also had to divest chunks of their business in a lot of cases, so they've got a huge level of overlap, complicated business processes that they have to support. However, at the same time, these applications are actually running their business day to day and delivering the services that their customers or their citizens actually need, so they are truly indispensable. We're also finding that even where people have moved to COTS packages hoping to get the benefits of simplicity and standardisation, they haven't been fully realised.
There's a big challenge there then clearly about how people go about improving and updating those applications for a modern age. What are the key considerations that people have to think about for modernising that application estate, and where do you start?
Well, I'm pleased to say, a fairly well-proven path now for starting an apps modernisation programme. And HP have got a range of proven levers for modernisation. So you typically start with an assessment of the application portfolio and then move on through the planning phase of looking at what the modernisation roadmap is and might be, and then breaking up the elephant into different chunks and looking at which modernisation strategies you might recommend for different areas. And really, very importantly, looking at what you might rationalise. So how do you actually clear away the noise from the system? And then you can invoke the programmes and projects to deliver the particular sequence of modernisation projects to deliver the end outcome. So that's the proven path. Before doing that, it's really important to understand the business outcomes. Cost saving is a key component and is necessary, I think, for all modernisation programmes, but is by no means sufficient. The best ones deliver significant chunks of additional business value at the same time.
One of the things that's becoming an increasing part of everybody's IT strategy is the cloud and what that's going to mean to them or not mean, as the case may be. That, I guess, is having a big influence on the sort of decisions that people make about how they modernise their applications. What is the impact of cloud on the area of transforming and modernising applications?
A big impact in a number of areas. In the business sense, then we're seeing that the greater levels of standardisation and automation, allowing much more rapid and flexible partnerships between different companies to bring new products and services to market. So ecosystems around high-performance computing we're talking to people about. We're talking to logistics providers about how to deliver those as services. Automotive component manufacturers are really interested in moving to a single service delivering components for particular manufacturers, and a number of different business opportunities there. We're looking to ISV partners to help to grow that. I think that's a massive area of growth. On the more technical aspects, then, the whole ability to really scale out much more quickly to meet changing workloads, allows the ability to reach out to citizens and to customers. So systems of engagements really bringing the sales and the marketing side of what IT has had to promise for some time out to deliver that value is important. Some of the pure plays, the Amazons of this world, have already sort of set the bar. For enterprise customers, the trick is of doing that whilst at the same time keeping the coherence around their legacy heritage estate. So really around the workloads, that flexibility and the elasticity that mean you can stand something up feasibly for particular one-off events. Doesn't matter whether that's a marketing event, a rock concert, or an election. So we're talking about actually bringing one of the themes around mobile together with cloud for those sorts of things. So it's how do you exploit it at the same time? How do you get the benefits from the cost savings that standardisation brings across the public, the private, and the managed cloud, where I think we believe HP have an edge in that area.
You mentioned mobile there when you're talking about the cloud, and increasingly it's difficult to talk about one without the other. And when you're thinking about application development, quite often a mobile phone is going to be your storefront. It's going to be the front door to your organisation. That's got to be a really big part of application modernisation plans as well. What's the real impact the mobile's having on this too?
Well, it started probably 2 years ago, with clients telling us that they saw the next big wave of applications transformation being driven by the new products and services from mobile. So we started about that sort of time looking at how we could bring that into the applications portfolio. And what we're seeing across the sectors is companies really looking to two things. One, innovation and getting the brand out there with new products and services, particularly financial services at the moment, really a part of each of the firm's competitive edge. Equally important, actually, in the government, reaching out in these straitened times directly to the citizen, and also to third parties, so delivering things like employment services in innovative ways. Those are all genuinely new. However, when you're reaching out to 10, 15 million expectant customers or citizens, then the quality of service has to be really good, particularly for enterprise customers, and that's where we come in about how to deliver that customer experience, that manageability across what's upwards of 90 or so different operating system version, device, form factor types to the different generations that use them.
Yeah. A lot of what you talk about there about there's a lot of work involved in this, both for cloud and for mobile and just for general application modernisation. And in the eyes of a boardroom, a lot of work means a lot of money. For an IT leader, how do you put across the business value of modernising your applications? And it would be great, perhaps as well, if you've got some examples of some of the customers that you've worked with who've been able to demonstrate some of that value.
So. Don't tend to focus on the applications modernisation, tend to focus on the business transformation. So really looking at how can bring new products and services to markets, how can actually deliver those to new customer base, how do you change the speed, how do you bring automation in to really change the competitive landscape. I think particularly at the moment with the high levels of competition out there in the market and new entrants, then my advice would be very much to focus on that business value, but then use some of the proven techniques and the tools out there in the market and that HP that we've invested in to actually help manage that journey. So the sort of things that we've seen crossing the different sectors, automation and self-service for government, HR, allowed something like £1 million a week of savings through removing a complete administrative layer from that particular organisation. So something like a 1,000 plus people able to be deployed on frontline services in that particular case rather than back office. That was using our replace strategy, moving into, in this case, Oracle COTS package, replacing 250 different systems. So it wasn't a detailed 250 into one. It was very much painting a vision of a future automated business process to deliver that. That's one of the sort of areas that we see. You're also seeing, very importantly, in a different case where a financial services institution needed to protect the investment, 30 years investment in their product systems, then re-architecting them into a service-oriented environment, delivering business services, automating those, half the time to get a mortgage offer out and something like half the cost. So those are clear business benefits in getting information out to the customer. Another one that we've seen in the telco sector was very much a rationalisation of billing systems, two systems into one, brought together fixed and mobile products and services and allowed an upsell on both to the combined customer base, so 50 million euros per annum of additional benefits. So if the business case is constructed around a transformational agenda to release that power in the organisation, those are the ones that we've seen achieving the most benefits. So in terms of cloud, that really takes it on to the next level of being able to exploit some of the new technologies much quicker. And we're working with a number of big clients, energy sector and financial services, on how to transform, in that particular case, their data centres to do a simplification and at the same time enable particularly their systems of engagement to go out and grow the business with the customers.
Yeah. Some really significant benefits you described there, real life benefits that organisations are achieving. But for someone who's at the start of this process, by way of summarising some of the points that you've made, for someone who's just starting out on that road, what would be the one or two top tips that you would say to them about this is what you absolutely must do now?
I think the top tip has to be a focus on that business benefit and that compelling event. So what is the timescale that you're working back for that's actually going to drive new products and services, and particularly around the growth agenda? And then the real skill is of actually combining that growth agenda, which technology now can really bring, with the cost saving that's table stakes for all of the businesses. And once that is clear, then the second stage is to get a pretty good idea of where you are and who the partners to help you on that journey to where you need to be.
Okay. Peter, thanks very much for coming along and sharing your experience and advice for what's clearly a hugely important topic for IT leaders at the moment. Very much appreciated. I've been talking to Peter Schofield from HP about application transformation and modernisation. I hope you found some useful bits of best practice to take away there to help you with your IT strategies. Thanks very much for watching this video. Hope to see you again in another Computer Weekly video soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.